some action.
Canadian Elite Basketball League action is coming to you live from the heart of the prairies. It's a housewarming party in the Bridge City as the Saskatoon Mamba take on the Ottawa BlackJacks in the first ever CEBL game at Merlis Belsher Place. Hello everyone, I'm Ryan Flaherty alongside Eric Magdans. Katrin Hodson will join us in just a few moments. Well, the Mamba are back home after playing their last two on the road, but as you can see, it's a new home for one of the inaugural franchises here in the league, and they're looking to mark the occasion in this milestone year of a season of change in their first ever game here at MVP. And they're hoping to celebrate with a victory, but the Ottawa BlackJacks have no intention of being the gracious guests. They prefer to be the type that tracks mud all over the new carpets and pockets the silverware as they try to get back to the 500 mark and take a win back to the nation's capital.
Yeah, the Mamba are looking to build off their latest target time comeback, while the BlackJacks aim to snap a two-game losing streak. These teams are nearly identical offensively with some explosive perimeter scorers. Tonight, I expect an abundance of offense, but likely that the team that can rebound and take care of the basketball will come out with the victory.
And you know, it's a new setting for the Mamba, but a familiar face coming back to Saskatoon, making his home debut. And with more on that, let's go over to Katrin Hodson.
Right. Fan and franchise favorite Devontae Bandu is back on home court for the first time this season. When I spoke to Coach Fox this morning about it, he said it was simply amazing to have him back on the roster, that he's a pro, he knows what he's doing. Devontae echoed that sentiment and is very excited to be back in Saskatoon and at a new venue as well. This is the first time the Mamba and the franchise will be playing at Merlis Belsher Place, like Ryan said. And though this is a new venue to the team, it will be very familiar to many fans in the stands, as this is the home of the USask Husky hockey program. It's shaping up to be an exciting game. The energy in here is very high, the curiosity that comes with the new venue. And we do have one more add to the roster tonight as well, Ryan. Dejawan Gordon is back on the court.
Thank you so much, Katrin. Yes, just learning that about an hour prior to tip-off. Dejawan Gordon missed the last 4 games. More on him and his return as we get into this broadcast. But first of all, let's take a look at the stats for tonight's game in this matchup. First of 2 meetings between the Mamba and the BlackJacks. And as you touched on there, Eric, the points almost identical. Ottawa shooting the ball a little bit better from the field and from the line. The Mamba with the edge from beyond the arc, but 2 pretty evenly matched teams. And it looks like Katrin is now ready and standing by with more on the Mamba's approach tonight with head coach Isaiah Fox.
All right, Coach Fox, Dejawan Gordon back on the court tonight. How are you feeling about that?
Feel good. Can't wait to see him play. He hasn't played in 4 games, so I'm sure there's some rust, but it's going to be good to have his energy out there.
All right, new venue. How's the team feeling? Are you excited?
Very excited. Absolutely. New venue. Feels like another home game, our first home game for that matter. It looks like we got a good crowd so far, so hopefully we can bring it and give them something to view, something to watch.
Well, the rumor is that it's lined up down the block, so.
Absolutely. So that's exciting. It's exciting. Hopefully, like I said, we can put on a good product for them, give them something to cheer about.
When we spoke this morning, Coach, you talked about how the keys to these games have really been getting back to basics. What are those basics you're focusing on tonight?
Getting back on defense, knowing our personnel, who to guard and how to close out at the perimeter, protecting our paint, and then rebounding.
All right, thank you so much, Coach Fox. Good luck in the first quarter. Back to you, Ryan.
Thank you very much, Katrin. Yes, a lot of buzz in the building from both teams, really, about playing in this setting. And, of course, we'll talk about that throughout the night. But first, we're going to take a quick break as we're getting close to tip-off time here at Merlis Belsher Place. That's coming up in just a few minutes. You are watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, CBC Sports YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Welcome to a new CEBL season.
It's been amazing, Canada basketball, to put that platform and give guys an out.
The crowds were bigger, the players got better, the quality of the game got better.
You gotta love it, Canadian Goose.
Fasten your seatbelt tonight because we're gonna have some high energy and some high flying stuff.
This is a trail. I'm living for real. Ain't all that I gotta say. I'm in my No shortage of emotion, no shortage of intensity as anticipated.
Sliding away. What a block from behind.
You don't just fuel your body, you fuel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
Back inside the, we'll call it Snake Pit 2.0 here. Merlis Belsher Place, the setting for its first ever CEBL game as the Saskatoon Mamba get introduced out on the floor. Let's take a look at some keys to tonight's game. Eric, presented by CDIC, first for the visiting Ottawa BlackJacks.
Yeah, a couple keys to the game tonight. First one is to start strong for these BlackJacks. Last two games, both games they've been down double-digit deficits after the first quarters. They need to come out tonight and start strong. Second one is, in order to run, you have to rebound. That's going to be a big key. Saskatchewan here is the second best offensive rebounding team in the league. In order to run, it's a lot easier when you're getting that rebound, not taking it out of your basket. And finally, keep your composure. They played a great game against Vancouver a couple nights ago. We're making a great comeback. Lost their composure, lost that game.
And of course, it's the Mamba looking to pick up another win as they get rolling here. What are the keys to the game for them, presented by CDIC?
Yeah, it's all about managing pace. Saskatoon here really likes to run as well, but in order to do that, you've got to be able to slow down the other team, and that is guarding the perimeter. Top three perimeter scorers for the BlackJacks score over 65 points a game. About guarding that perimeter, making sure that they can't get past that first line of defense, and taking care of that. And finally, the best time, and the best way that we've watched the Mamba play this year is when they control the controllables. When they don't worry about the officiating, they won't worry about the last play, focus on what's happening next, and that's when they've been playing their best.
All right, just moments before tip-off here at Merlis Belsher Place, so let us take a look at those starting lineups. And we heard Katrin speaking about it in the open. Devontae Bandu, who has played the last two games on the road, now makes his home debut for this season, the franchise's all-time leader in games played and three-pointers, along with Tavian Dunn-Martin, Jalen Williams, Jaden Bediako, and Tevian Jones for the Ottawa BlackJacks. Javonte Smart, Matthew Cleveland, Wilson Dubinsky, Marco Maletic, and the newest member of the team, Drew Cisse, round out their starting five. Eric, you've outlined a player to watch from each team. Let's start with your BlackJacks pick. Who is it?
Yeah, I actually picked a guy coming off the bench tonight, Justin Harmon, an absolutely electric, explosive scorer, kind of the third head of their three-headed scoring combo here from their perimeter. He's a guy who can absolutely fill it up, and he will be very familiar to Coach Isaiah Fox, as he was a part of the Salt Lake City team this past year.
And for the Mamba, your player to watch is someone who a lot of fans have been watching closely this season. It's Tavian Dunn-Martin.
Yeah, TDM has come in here and been an explosive scorer, and really somebody the Mamba have needed this entire year. He can score. He attracts so much attention on offense. It's all about being able to control the defensive end, making sure that teams aren't going to take advantage of him, and there's a game plan for when they do try.
Dunn-Martin, third in the CBL in both three-point percentage and three-pointers per game. Should be another big night for the point guard from Huntington, West Virginia. The tip-off is presented by Spalding, the official game ball of the CEBL. An historic night here for this franchise in a venue a lot of fans have been wanting to see them play in for quite some time, and now it's finally a reality. They'll still have some games back at SaskTel Center, but very excited to have professional hoops here at MVP. Eric, I'm sure you are too.
Yeah, this is a great venue. You can feel the crowd already. The excitement is electric in here. We're ready to get going.
Ball's up, we're underway. Glad to have, and we're going to do it all over again. As actually, we are going to tip it up again. So Jason Steele, who is our crew chief tonight, we'll get that going again. Crew chief is Jason Steele. The umpires tonight, Matt Fidelic and David Hirsch. And now we're set to go. I think we had a little clock issue off the top. Now it's all good to go. Blackjacks and Mamba, first time this season. Both meetings last year were barn burners, so we'll see if we get another high wire act here on this Monday night, part of a triple header in the CEBL. Ryan Flaherty, Eric Magdens, Katrin Hudson with you. Glad to have you on board. Tevian Jones slicing through the paint. Can't get it to go. Bediako's shot rolls off the rim as well, and Cleveland quickly the other way. Cisse into the corner, Maletic, good closeout by Bediako, but Maletic just calmly steps to the side and hits the three.
And that's what he does. He shoots the three at a really high rate. There's a lot of other guys on this team that are going to look to attack the paint. He's not one of them. He's going to spot up and look to shoot.
Dunn-Martin gets a little bit of daylight. A little Nash dribble into the corner. Williams under the hoop. Bediako, patience, and puts it home. Jaden Bediako will get into his impact a little more as we go tonight, but he has certainly been a difference maker since his return to the team this season. We got a bucket and a foul. Javante Smart will get a chance for three, as that one looked like that was on Devontae Bandu. Pardon me, Tevian Jones picks that one up.
Yeah, a little confusion there by the Mamba on how they're going to handle that ball screen. And Javante Smart is a guy that you do not want to give an ounce of space to. He's a pure scorer.
Well, you have coached against him, so what's the best way to try to neutralize him, or at least minimize his impact?
You know, he's really good going either direction. So when you have scorers like that, sometimes it's just about taking away options, trying to keep him to his side, trying to force him, so you can prep where your help's going to come from, because you're going to need help.
Williams can't get that shot to go. Cleveland running the floor and puts it off the glass and in. Good start here for the visitors. Ottawa with an early 8-2 lead, not even 2 minutes in.
Yeah, and that's the other guy you're going to have to watch out for. Cleveland went on his own 11-0 run in the last game, so he's a guy that can absolutely fill it up.
And a turnover there is going to give the Blackjacks another possession, as that was last touched by Tavian Dunn-Martin. Matthew Cleveland, though, as you said, he can do it himself, and he is one of the leading scorers in this league here as a CEBL rookie. And comes up short on that little jump shot.
Yeah, the Mamba have some guys who can guard him, though. One of the challenges with Cleveland is he's so long. Mamba have a bunch of long guys who can get out on the perimeter and really try to make his life a little more difficult.
Bediako, a lot of contact under the hoop, and that foul is going to go on Wilson Dubinsky. Non-shooting foul. Bandu inbounds for Tavian Dunn-Martin. Dubinsky right in his face, and that's good. 4-point play upcoming for Tavian Dunn-Martin. And 2 quick fouls on Wilson Dubinsky.
Yeah, TDM's done that all year. He does such a great job. He looks like he's stuck in the corner, has nowhere to go, does just a little pump fake and can still get a shot away.
And substitutions for the Blackjacks, Christian Roller and Justin Harmon, your player to watch for Ottawa, checking in for the Blackjacks. And Harmon, of course, along with Cleveland, as we'll get into this more as we go, but very familiar to Mamba head coach Isaiah Fox. We'll see his work with them in the G League. Javante Smart for 3, no good, rebounded by Bandu. Dunn-Martin, as the Blackjacks get back quickly, set up their half-court defense. Entry pass, Bediako working on Cisse, no good, and Drew Cisse rips that board away from Bediako. Quickly up for Maletic, 3-0. Inside is Roller, and he gets the putback. BlackJacks lead it by 4. Devontae Bandu. Pull up mid-range off back iron. Cleveland the rebound. Looking to run it down the floor. Finds Harmon, but he couldn't handle the pass cleanly. But Cleveland wide open for 3. Can't get it to go. Dunmartin down the lane. Bediako too deep. Now back outside for Devontae Bandu, who settles it down. Now, 3-pointer is good. Devontae Bandu saw a little daylight there, and he's going to make use of that.
And the pace has really picked up here in the last little bit since these last substitutions. Any missed shot, guys are looking to run.
Williams with the rebound. No look pass into the corner. Tevian Jones back for Williams. High off the glass. No, Bediako can't secure the board. Roller there, and Bediako then getting a little handsy, and he's called for the foul. In case you missed it off the top, Jason Steele is our crew chief tonight, along with Matt Fidelic and David Hirsch, the umpires.
Yeah, and tonight's really going to be a game of matchups. You can see already Tevian Jones looking to attack. They're looking to try to feed Jaden Bediako inside. And then on the other side, the BlackJacks here are really trying to attack from the perimeter, whether that be Smart, Harmon, a bunch of threes by Maletich as well.
Harmon a little too strong on that 3-point try. Rebounded by Bediako. TDM change of pace. Now Jones moves it around to Williams. J. Will on the drive. Underneath, up and in. J. Will with a nice bucket in the paint. And the Mamba have their first lead. It's 11-10. Harmon now for Cleveland. Trying to work on Bediako. Jump stop in the lane. Comes up short. And here go the Mamba on the run. Jones for Williams. Jalen Williams with the one-handed flush. Mamba starting to get into a bit of a rhythm here. Javonte Smart looking to stop it, but his 3 rims in and out. Once again, Mamba pushing the pace. Bandu for 3, no. And here we go the other way. Smart, Euro step, no, can't get it to drop. Bandu grabs the rebound. Maletich trying to tie it up, but we've got a whistle and a foul on that play, and it will go against Marco Maletich. Catch your breath, folks. We've already played 5.5 minutes, and the Mamba have moved out to a 13-10 lead as we take a break with 4:25 to play in the opening quarter. You're watching Canadian Elite Basketball League action live on CBC Gem, CBC Sports YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa, thanks.
That's my job.
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
At Cal Tire, we're here to drive the best value around with free rotations, price match, 0% financing, and free flat repairs. We take care of it all for the life of your tires. Chat with our team at caltire.com.
Back inside Merlis, Belsher Place. Saskatoon Mamba leading the Ottawa BlackJacks 13-10. And yes, the debut of CEBL action here in this venue, and with more on that, let's go over to Katrin Hodson.
Yes, well, Merlis Belsher Place is a venue that locals here in Saskatoon are likely very familiar with, as it's the home of the University of Saskatchewan Husky women's and men's hockey teams. It's also where the city's men's and women's AAA hockey teams play, the Stars and the Contacts. They are known for hosting major events here, including the U Sports Women's Hockey National Championships, 2 curling Grand Slams, as well as the Freddie Saskatchewan National Championship, which is one of the biggest First Nations hockey tournaments in the country. It was built in 2018 as a multi-sport complex, and this arena is really only part of the venue. There's also a beautiful practice facility that is home to the 4-time national championship Husky women's basketball team and the Husky men's basketball team. It seats about 2,700, so it's definitely a different venue from Sasktel Center. But by all accounts, the team is excited to play here, and I think fans are very excited to watch here. Back to you, Ryan.
Absolutely, Katrin, and count Eric and I among those who are excited for this one tonight to see what it looks like in here, and I think we're both very happy with the results as the Blackjacks run the floor and get 2 points from Alex Fudge, who's into the game for Ottawa. There's been a couple changes on both sides.
And the Mamba need to be careful right now. Defensively, they were looking all right, but a big part of that is that the Blackjacks have shot 1 for 8 from 3. That's not going to last. They're too great of shooters for that to happen.
Kobe Elvis committing the foul there, and a chance for a 3-point play for Jaden Bediako. And got a little ahead of myself with the changes on the Mamba side. Here come the first 2 subs of the game for Saskatoon. It is Trey Townsend and, for the first time in 5 games, Dejuan Gordon back on the floor. And I'm sure he's excited to be back in action. But, of course, Eric, that does create a little bit of a conundrum for Isaiah Fox, because the Mamba do have 6 import players, and you can only have 5 on your active roster.
Yeah, there's some challenges with rotation. Also, this is his first game with Devontae Bandu and Jaden Bediako as well, so he's going to be kind of feeling his way through this, trying to figure out where he fits. Had a great start to this season, though, is a guy who's absolutely going to be another piece of the puzzle for Coach Fox.
Elvis can't get the layup to go. Last touched by Ottawa. But yes, you're right, Gordon in his first 4 games of the season averaging 16 points and nearly 6 rebounds. So clearly an impact guy in his first year here in the league.
Yeah, he was one of those bright spots in that early season struggles by the Mamba. He really kind of played his way through that, had an unfortunate injury. Happy to see him back out here.
This Western Conference game is presented by Cal Tire. Tevian Jones jump stop. That's goaltending. Yes, you can knock it off the rim, but you can't reach up inside the cylinder. So that'll be 2 points for Tevian Jones, who scored the target score winning basket the last time these 2 teams met, a game that I'm sure you remember quite well.
Yeah, there's some pretty memorable games against Ottawa last year, and thankfully 2 W's for the Rattlers.
Yeah, is that the only team I think that's the only team you have an undefeated record against, right?
Yeah, I think
as
so.
A coach?
Absolutely.
In this league. Yeah, the Rattlers taking both meetings last year, but it has been a good matchup over the years since Ottawa came into the league in 2020. Second chance for Fudge, and he makes good.
A different look here by Ottawa. They're going small. They moved Fudge to the 5. He is a wing player, but he is long. He's athletic. They're trying to put the Mamba in some difficult defensive situations.
Easton Tim in to the game for the Mamba, gives it to Townsend, around to Jones, and Tevian Jones hits the 3. Mamba leading it by 4 with 2 minutes to go in a fast-paced first quarter here in Saskatoon. Javonte Smart fouled as he was on the drive. Like that was on Jamal Fuller, who's checked in for the first time here for Saskatoon.
Yeah, Kobe Elvis is a great addition here for the Blackjacks. Just joined them for the last game against Vancouver. He's more of a setup guy who can absolutely score, but with the number of scorers that the Blackjacks already have, another guy who can be a distributor is an absolutely great addition for a Canadian spot.
Smart splits a pair and gets a pair to pull the Blackjacks back within a pair. It's a theme right there, Coach. To follow us here on the CEBL, follow CEB League on all social platforms to stay up to date on stats, storylines, and more for all 10 teams in Canada's Pro Basketball League. And Dejuan Gordon welcomes himself back with a triple
Yeah, it's got to feel good for him. First shot goes straight down.
Good ball movement by Ottawa. Elvis, no, but there on the putback is Alex Fudge.
Yeah, he might be one of the best vertical athletes in this league, being able to get up and down.
Gordon trying to get another, but that rims out. Justin Harmon on the run, finds Maletich. Good closeout initially by Tim, but Maletich sticks with it, can't get it to go.
Yeah, Maletich has been forcing a little bit here early. He's getting guys to close out hard. He's got to take advantage of those closeouts.
Gordon, entry pass, Tim, free path to the basket, and Easton Tim puts it in. 5-point lead for the Mamba with a half a minute to go in the period. Smart driving, and the reach-in foul there by Dejuan Gordon before the shot. Smart thinks otherwise, but don't think he's going to win this argument. Justin Mazzulla on the Ottawa bench also being pretty emphatic as he made an appeal for free throws there. Fudge, now Justin Harmon, guarded by Fuller, gets a good screen, trying to lob it in for Fudge, too tall. Tavian Dunn-Martin the other way, checking left and right, no look, on the run. Dejuan Gordon, that leg is looking just fine, and Harmon back the other way with a response. 5 seconds left, Dunn-Martin takes a look, tries to put it up. That will come up short, and despite the Mamba calls for a foul, there will be none assessed on that play. That might have been the fastest opening quarter I've ever seen here, Eric, and at the end of it all, it is the Mamba out front, but we've got a lot of game still to go. This one's just getting started. Settle in, folks. We're in for another good one here in Saskatoon. You're watching the Canadian Elite Basketball League live on CBC Gem, CBC Sports YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Lotto Max now has more?
Oh yeah, like up to 90 new prizes of $100,000 on every draw.
Yeah, right. And aliens exist.
What? Lotto Max has more prizes?
Yep, that's more chances to win.
Sure, and horses can fly.
No way.
Cool.
Let's bring it on. It's game time. It's showtime. Oh, and it's your host, Nick Hornby. Here's Oakland for the win.
You gotta love a Canadian boost.
Two hands. Oh, what a block from behind.
Swish rocking the throwback tonight. It is Rattlers Heritage Night here at Merlis Belsher Place, and I think some fans are going to get some throwback jerseys in the second half as well as we return inside Merlis Belsher Place. And of course we saw Howler there. He's the Huskies mascot, but fittingly here, the home of the Huskies, and of course the Mamba with a couple of Saskatchewan Huskies on their team. This is also the facility that houses their practice facility, and the Mamba practice here too. So there's a lot of familiarity, Eric, for the Mamba being in this building already.
Yeah, it's a great practice facility, probably one of the best in the league that the Mamba have here. Got to get to use the U of S facilities, and an awesome place in the heart of Saskatoon.
Tavian Dunn-Martin and Dejuan Gordon looking to link up for a highlight reel play there, but they come up empty. It is the Mamba leading the BlackJacks 27-22 as we just get underway here in the second quarter. Matthew Cleveland, Justin Harmon launching, and that will find the bottom of the bucket for one of the top three-point shooters in the league.
And tonight's going to be a game of runs. The Ottawa starts with an 8-2 run. Mamba go back to finish the quarter on a 25-14 run. It's all about being able to break those cycles and get the momentum back on your side.
And Gordon replies with a mid-range J. These teams have a knack for giving us 10 out of 10 entertainment when they meet, as Cleveland lays it off the glass and in, and starting to shape up like another one here tonight. Great pass for Fuller. What a dish. Tavian Dunn-Martin, who's averaging almost 6 dimes a game. That's one of the prettiest he's had all season.
And that's been something that he's been much improved on as the season's gone on. He really started the year as a scorer, but he started to get to know his teammates a little better, started to get them more involved, and made some absolutely highlight reel passes.
Cleveland with another 2 for Ottawa to pull them back within a pair. Cal Tire, proud partner and tire expert of the CEBL. Shop top tire brands and have peace of mind with Cal Tire's price match guarantee. Shop and book at caltire.com, as we've got a whistle on that fast break by Ottawa and a foul on the Mamba.
One of the most important things tonight in being able to control the other team's transition will come down to shot selection. Little deep shot there by Gordon leads to a fast break going the other direction. Shot selection, being able to control the pace is going to be an absolute key thing.
So that's 2 on Fuller. He'll take a seat. Devontae Bandu checking back in for Saskatoon. Cleveland at the line. Makes both, ties the game at 31.
I don't think that's the last time you're going to say that tonight, Ryan.
The 31 part, yes, but the ties the game, likely not. And already trending towards your pregame prediction of a high-scoring matchup here tonight. Trey Townsend will show and go now, pivoting in the paint, can't get it to drop. Dubinsky with the rebound for Cleveland. And Matthew Cleveland, who was trying to draw the foul, stuck with it, still got the bucket. And Isaiah Fox wants to talk things over as Ottawa's off to a quick start here in the second. And we will take a timeout as well, with the Blackjacks now back in front. You're watching CEBL live on CBC Gem, CBC Sports YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Let's bring it on. It's game time. It's showtime. Nick Hornsby. Here's Oakland for the win.
You gotta love a Canadian boots.
Two hands. Oh, what a block from behind.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa, thanks.
That's my job.
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
At Cal Tire, we're here to drive the best value around with free rotations, price match, 0% financing, and free flat repairs. We take care of it all for the life of your tires. Chat with our team at caltire.com.
Welcome back. Oh, yes. Get them started early here at MVP. That's going to be a Mamba fan for life. Well, he briefly touched on it in the opening quarter, but there's a couple players on this Blackjacks team who have a lot of familiarity with the Mamba head coach. For more on that, let's head over and check in with Katrin Hudson.
That's right. Between coaches and players, there are 5 guys on the court tonight who are here in the CEBL from the Salt Lake Stars and Utah Jazz organization. That includes Mamba coach Isaiah Fox, Blackjacks coach Justin Mazzulla, Trey Townsend, Justin Harmon, and Matthew Cleveland. All 5 say they are excited to face off tonight. Coach Fox has coached both Harmon and Cleveland. He said he was not at all surprised by their joint 35 or more point performance and franchise record against the Bandits. He called them both good players and even better people. When we spoke to Harmon, he said Coach Fox grew his mind as a player and as a human being, that he held him on and off the court. You could really hear the respect Harmon holds for Coach Fox. That being said, he also said emphatically, I definitely want to beat him. Back to you, Ryan.
Absolutely. Thanks, Katrin. Yes, I was there as well, chatting with him, and he definitely big smile on his face when he said, "Yeah, I love the guy, but oh, do I want to beat him?" And a little extra juice in this matchup tonight when there's that familiarity, and that makes it fun for everyone, eh, Coach?
Absolutely. It's a little like big brother, little brother there. Neither one wants to lose. No one's going to give an inch.
Tip in there by Cisse, expanding the BlackJacks lead to 4 points. We're 3 minutes into the second quarter. And as I say that, Jalen Williams gets we're going to call that a long 2 for Saskatoon. New Era is the exclusive game uniform partner of the CEBL and all 10 of its teams from coast to coast. Pick up your official replica jerseys now by visiting CEBL.ca. These teams are not doing us any favors trying to get these reads in, Eric. Not a lot of breathing room in this game. It's been a real high-tempo, high-paced game.
Yeah, this is the fun one. I think the fans are getting their money's worth tonight.
Tevian Jones, no, there's Jalen Williams on the putback. Little OG Anunoby-esque flying in there for the 2. Little. Magnitude of the game, not quite the same, but congratulations to the New York Knickerbockers and all their fans. What a scene on Saturday. They ended a 53-year drought. Here's a three-point try from Dubinsky. No, but there's another offensive rebound, and Harmon has something to say to Tavian Dunn-Martin after getting that deuce.
Well, on the season, the BlackJacks have been one of the lower offensive rebounding teams in the league, but you wouldn't assume that tonight. Something the Mamba have to clean up going forward in this game.
Yeah, ranking last, in fact, in the CBL, coming in, averaging fewer than 10 offensive boards per game, but nearly up to that number already here tonight. Well, maybe not quite. It feels like more than the 3 that they had at the end of the quarter, but here's Cleveland, and he'll hit from 3.
And another offensive rebound there, leading to an open 3. That's not going to be successful for the Mamba.
It's the largest lead of the night now for the BlackJacks, a 7-point gap, 42-35, halfway through the second quarter. Tevian Jones looking for an opening, and he finds it. Good touch over the big man and off the glass.
Yeah, the Mamba just look a little stagnant right now. They had such great energy, such great movement to start the game here that really took them on their offensive run. Got to get back to that.
This is Justin Harmon, averaging over 18 points in his first season in the CEBL. Cleveland, skip pass to Dubinsky, runs into Bandu, but turnaround shot is good for the Ottawa Products.
Yeah, he gets to come home and play. He's a great defender, which is a huge piece for their team with their offensive scores that they have on this team. Any offense they can get from him is really just a bonus.
Bandu, floater is good, and Devontae Bandu, he is so happy to be back in Saskatoon, and he's looking fresh in his first home game of the season. Harmon now stops and pops. No good. Cisse, though, gets the rebound, and there's Dubinsky. And the Mamba want another timeout. It didn't really seem to work the last time. We'll see if we can cook up on this one, Coach. But what do you see here in this second quarter that Ottawa's being able to take advantage of?
It starts with energy and effort. The BlackJacks look just more engaged, especially offensively. They're moving the ball, they're playing, and defensively, they're really stopping the Mamba from getting on the glass. The Mamba have to get back, get organized, and start communicating, because those rotations and late closeouts are leading to open shots, and even worse, leading to second chance opportunities for the BlackJacks.
It's just interesting looking over here and seeing the coaches huddled up on the floor and the players with their own huddle going right now. And now Isaiah Fox will step in and deliver the message. Lotto Max now gives you even more chances to win with new prizes of $100,000 every draw. Get your Lotto Max ticket now. Must be 18 plus. So just under 4 minutes to go in the half. BlackJacks with a 6-point lead.
And sometimes as a coach, what you need to do is just give your players some space. At the end of the day, these guys know what they got to do with some playing, with some energy, some effort, putting a body on people and getting on the glass. They don't necessarily need the coach to be able to tell them to do that. Give them a little space like Coach Fox just did. They'll sort it out. I expect the Mamba to come back with a little better effort here.
Well, three-point shooting hasn't necessarily been great in terms of the percentages, but there's some big ones hit already here in this first half. But the Mamba, who of course are one of the top three-point shooting teams in the league, just 4 of 14 so far, while the BlackJacks 3 of 14 from beyond the arc.
And an absolute stat that just pops off the page here is points per possession. Both teams are over 1, which is great, but the BlackJacks have jumped up to 1.38 points per possession. That is not good for the Mamba.
That is a massive number. Tavian Dunn-Martin with the turnover. Fudge running the floor, and he is fouled on the take. That'll be on Tevian Jones, his second of the game.
Tough turnover there coming out of the timeout. Definitely don't want to allow Fudge, a guy who can absolutely move and fly, to get out in transition.
Yeah, he's not just a rim protector, although he's done a good job of that as well, as he's tied for the league lead in blocked shots, almost 2 a game.
He's a really versatile player. He's been able to play the center position for them. He's probably more comfortable on the wing, but it's all about matchups in this league, and especially in the G League where he plays in the winter season. And he's a guy who can create him in a bunch of different levels.
And a guy with plenty of big game experience, of course, playing at Florida. His hometown school, the Jacksonville product. Jones 3, no. Rebound with authority. Jalen Williams. That had some nasty on it. BlackJacks 47, Mamba 41. Dubinsky pull up, comes up short, gets his own miss though. Finds Fudge in the corner, and now reset here for Javonte Smart. Jones gets in front of him, but Javonte Smart, all kinds of skills.
One of the hardest slow steps to guard in the league. He does such a great job. He kind of gets into that Euro step and changes his pace and can just stand on one leg for longer than the defense.
Jones for 3, no. Bediako on the glass, and he will head to the line.
You got to like the response here from the Mamba. Great big dunk by Jay Will last possession. Offensive rebound by Bediako this possession. That's a good change in effort and energy.
Christian Roller picking up that foul. Jaden Bediako, no doubt, has pretty fond memories of the last time these teams met. It was July of last year, and he ended up with the first ever 2020 game in CEBL history, at least in regular season play. 23 points, 20 rebounds, tying the league record for rebounds in a game. In a game you ended up winning by 1 point. I say you, of course, because you were the head coach last year, Eric, but Jaden Bediako was just massive in that one for you.
Yeah, just an absolutely memorable night for us, and a memorable night for Jaden, who got to do it in front of some friends and family as well. It was a game where we really challenged him to try to take over, and he absolutely delivered for us.
BlackJacks leading it by 6, 2.5 to play in the half. Cleveland trying to work his way inside, blocked by Williams. And off the BlackJacks, out of bounds. Good defense in the interior that time by the Mamba. Starting 5, 4 of the starting 5 rather, out on the floor right now for Saskatoon. With the exception, Dejuan Gordon out there right now instead of Jalen Williams. Pardon me, Williams out there as well. Gordon, though, no good on the take, but fouled. That's on Kobe Elvis.
Yeah, a little bit tough coming back from injury there. Didn't trust his legs fully, but, got away with it, got the foul call. He's back to the line.
We talk about all those connections we heard from Katrin about the Salt Lake Stars, City Stars reunion here tonight, but how about Justin Harmon and Dejuan Gordon? They went to the same high school in Chicago, longtime friends. And there's another guy that Justin Harmon was telling us he was excited to face off against here tonight.
Yeah, the basketball world is small. Once you get connected, you start finding all these fun connections where it's just a big family.
Smart After an empty trip there for Gordon, but he helps force the turnover. Now on the run out, and that will, the legs look good there. Just had to get a trial run going there, Eric. That one hammered home on the run. Mamba within 4, looking for a stop. Javonte Smart, Cleveland tracks it down to his right, and a lot of arms reaching in there. And this one, I believe, will go against. Nope, not on Bandu. It's on Dejuan Gordon. Harmon back in for the BlackJacks. Trey Townsend returning to the floor as well, as Tevian Jones will take a seat. Alex Fudge getting a breather as well. Cleveland at the line.
The Mamba have done a great job of sort of forcing the BlackJacks to go in a different direction here in the last couple of offensive possessions. You could see a little more concerted effort here by the BlackJacks, going back to their big 3 in Cleveland, Smart, and Harmon. Putting a little more offensive lineup here on the floor, trying to make this difficult.
Got a foul on the inbounds here, and Bediako hands to his head as it's going to go against the Mamba's big man, as he was over the back there on Harmon, and as you can see on the replay, got that right arm around him too. And the contact up high as they went for that inbounds pass. So second foul on Bediako. Looks like Easton Tim will take his spot on the floor.
Yeah, that's a big foul. Obviously, Jade's a huge part of this Mamba team. He's been great on the glass here. You got to get Easton to be able to push through for this last minute 30, get the team into halftime, back to the third quarter.
Ottawa looking to add to a 6-point lead. Into the corner for Harmon, weaving through traffic, puts it up. No, but there is Christian Roulaire on the follow-up flush. BlackJacks 53, Mamba 45. Gordon back outside. Bandu finds a little opening. Shot over the net. And Tim can't keep it alive.
Yeah, it's a game of runs. This entire night's been a game of runs. Let's see what happens here in the next minute. Who can have the momentum going into halftime?
And coming up at the half, we'll have a CEBL feature, the Saskatchewan Pathway. Katrin will interview Ottawa head coach Justin Mazzulla. We'll revisit the first half stats and Eric's players to watch, as the BlackJacks now with a double-digit lead. Important last few moments here for the Mamba, but that shot short. Gordon on the scene with the second chance bucket.
And looks like a tough shot by Jalen Williams, but he's playing for the 2-for-1 right there. So Mamba are going to get the ball back for one more possession here, try to cut into this lead.
And Roulaire gets the unfriendly roll, slams his hand on the floor in frustration. And here is that second portion of the 2-for-1. Mamba holding for the last shot. Gordon open for Tim. A defensive breakdown by the BlackJacks, and yeah, you want the last shot, but when you get gifted an opportunity like that, you got to take it.
Absolutely tough to give up that one.
But Smart, given time, will do things like that. And Javonte Smart with the buzzer beater 3 to put the BlackJacks on top, 58-49 at the half. A high octane 20 minutes of action, Eric. And the BlackJacks with a good second quarter to push out front.
Yeah, great second quarter by the BlackJacks. Way to kind of capitalize on those runs, be able to push down the stretch there. The Mamba got to kind of regroup, take control of what they control, and get back on the glass and get the BlackJacks off it.
And a big leader for Ottawa in that first half is Matthew Cleveland. He's standing by with our Katrin Hodson.
All right, an incredible 17 points on the board for you, Matthew. How are you feeling after that first half?
Feeling good, especially because we got the lead. We're playing hard, we're rebounding well, so I'm feeling good.
There's a little bit of back and forth there, but like you said, you did take the lead. What do you think the team is doing to keep getting those leads?
I think it's just energy. I mean, it starts in the defensive end, getting stops, playing with energy, having multiple efforts down there. It's leading to easy buckets down here.
Right, and you are playing against your coach from the Salt Lake City Stars. Does that add a little bit of competition to this game?
It does, just a little bit. Want to win even more now.
All right, well, good luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Back to you, Ryan.
Thank you, Katrin and Matthew Cleveland. Yeah, big first half, averaging nearly 24 a game this season, and he's already up to 17 in this one. The Mamba will need an answer for that and a few other things coming out in the second half. But first, we've got your halftime covered right here for Merlis Belsher Place. Stick around. That's coming up next. You're watching the Canadian Elite Basketball League live on CBC Gem, CBC Sports YouTube, and CEBL+.
My name is Easton Tim. Mohamed Mahadi. Jamie Campbell. Play at the University of Saskatchewan. University of Saskatchewan. Head coach of the University of Saskatchewan men's basketball team. Currently with the Saskatoon Mamba. Coach for the Saskatoon Mamba. And I'm playing for the Saskatoon Mamba. It means a lot. Making a leap from the U Sport level to the CEBL level is a pretty big jump. So being able to have my family, my friends support me is always a good thing. Everybody kind of wants to be, growing up, you want to be that best athlete that you can be, and you kind of want to be known around your city for it if you can, right? So to see my work pay off and that I'm able to be recognized a little bit here, it's definitely something to be proud of.
It's huge. You're seeing it. You're seeing kids that, you know, you're seeing Easton and Mo, who went to Holy Cross and Walter Murray right here in Saskatoon, come to play for the U of S, and now are playing in the CEBL. To see that pathway of kids that could play basketball here in this city, to play then for the university team, to then play for the professional team in the city, it's an amazing thing. You have to be able to see people do it that came from where you come from, right? And that gives you the hope and the belief and the know that it can happen.
The biggest adjustment I would say is probably the speed and physicality. I'm not really used to it, being that I'm going against like seasoned pros and stuff, and also the attention to detail.
First of all, the competitiveness. You know, obviously college is a competitive league up here in Canada, but the competitiveness of these pros is definitely on another level, as well as my role, right? I'm going to be asked to do different things this summer from what I've been doing in my college season, and it's a great learning experience.
I get to see their hard work every day. And it's amazing to have everybody else get a chance to reward that hard work, you know, by coming out and supporting them, right? And whether it's coming to watch them play for the U of S and having all the success they have for us, the U of S, or now getting a chance to watch them play for the CEBL, it's an amazing thing that they deserve all the credit in the world, because they both had a good amount of talent, and they got great coaching from me, obviously. But it's their hard work, and their hard work it deserves to be applauded, and getting chances to be drafted and getting chances and opportunities like these shows that if you work hard enough at something, you're going to get the most out of it.
It's a great honor. I mean, I love this city. I'm happy to grow up here. I think it's a great place. And, you know, I try to show that in my attitude and in my effort.
It means a lot, being that when I was younger, I didn't really have any role models to look up to in Saskatoon. So it's always great to be able to be a role model for the younger generation.
What gives you confidence about the future of basketball in Saskatchewan?
The people that are kind of running the youth programming, I think that's the super exciting part of it. Probably Greg's probably the better guy to ask that question, because he's the president of our minor basketball association. So you have somebody like him who's a national champion, a CEBL champion, running our youth development program. You have Alex Campbell running our youth development program. We're talking from the Mamba perspective, but he's the assistant GM, right? The all-time leading scorer in CEBL history for a Canadian player. And he's running our Husky development program for our young kids. You see the type of people, and that's just the two big names. You're talking about a ton of great local talent coaching these young kids, and that's what gives you a great idea of what the future could become.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun, or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
Lotto Max now has more?
Oh, yeah. Like up to 90 new prizes of $100,000 on every draw.
Yeah, right. And aliens exist.
What? Lotto Max has more prizes?
Yep, that's more chances to win.
Sure, and horses can fly.
No way.
Cool.
With not good.
Welcome back inside Merlis Belsher Place. Halftime underway. And just about as much rhythm and energy on the floor right now as we saw in that first 20 minutes. Fans seem to be really into it here in this new setting. And these two teams are putting on a show so far, Eric, as we get a chance to look at some of those first half highlights. And there were no shortage of them. As we see, of course, DJ Charlie Hustle always in the house here, no matter where the Mamba are playing. But as we look at these first half highlights, Eric, what stood out to you?
Well, if you wanted points, we've got them for you tonight. 58 points here for the Blackjack, not to be outdone. 49 for the Mamba, right on pace for their season average as well. But that's going to be the difference here in the second half. Who can come out, make those adjustments, tighten up the defensive end, and that's with not even great three-point shooting. So there's a challenge for even a greater explosion here in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely wild that the teams have combined for just 8 threes that are both under 30%, well under 30% from beyond the arc, and despite that, both at least 50% from the field. And what that tells you is a lot of scoring inside.
Yeah, absolutely. 40 points in the paint here for Ottawa, 30 points in the paint for Saskatoon. That's a lot of points, and a lot of those are coming off second chance points. 10 offensive rebounds for the Blackjacks is already above their season average, and that's led to 8 or 19 second chance points. That's just too many for the Saskatoon Mamba to give up.
And now we get a visual illustration of some of those numbers we've just been talking about here, Eric. As I touched on that field goal percentages, both coaches will be happy with that. Not so much the three-point percentage. There hasn't been a lot of action from the free throw line yet, but look at those rebounding numbers as well. That really sticks out, especially when you consider how good of a rebounding team the Mamba have been this season overall, as they're the third best in the league, averaging almost over 38 per game. But the Blackhawks are beating them on the glass so far.
They're beating them on the glass, and they're just being more aggressive. 58 points with only 8 assists means that they're beating their first defender, and that second line of help isn't there. The Mamba got to clean that up.
And not to be outdone, of course, Ottawa ranks second in the league overall in rebounding, but we mentioned the offensive boards. That number pretty low. They've already surpassed their game average with 10 in the first half on the offensive end. So what do you do as a coach if you were looking to minimize that in the second half here for Saskatoon?
It's probably cleaning it up earlier in the possession. The Mamba are getting a little bit lost on ball screens, getting a little bit lost in rotations. That's leading to switches, that's leading to mismatches, and those mismatches are leading to tough rebounding opportunities that the Blackjacks, to their credit, are taking full advantage of.
Well, still lots to be decided. Of course, some who maybe were here in SaskTel Center last year when Ottawa came to town might think the Mamba have them right where they want them. We'll get into that as this second half plays out, but it is the Blackjacks by 9. Halftime continuing on the other side of this break as you're watching the Canadian Elite Basketball League live on CBC Gem, CBC Sports YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa, thanks.
That's my job.
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
CEBL.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa. Thank you. That's my job. So you were saying...
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
At Cal Tire, we're here to drive the best value around with free rotations, price match, 0% financing, and free flat repairs. We take care of it all for the life of your tires. Chat with our team at caltire.com.
Welcome back inside the Snake Pit as the Mamba return to the floor and given some throwback Rattler jerseys to the fans in attendance. But before we get more on that, let's head over to Katrin Hodson as she's standing by with Ottawa head coach Justin Mazzulla.
I am. Coach Mazzulla, he is still talking to the players. He's actually been talking to them as they come out. Coach, as they came back onto the court, what were you saying to the guys?
Don't lower your guard. Our guys are playing well right now, and everything's kind of going pretty smoothly, but we have to continue to keep our attention to detail, keep our focus, and keep our togetherness.
Okay, and how did you feel about that first half? What do you think got the lead for you? Because it was a back and forth for a little bit there.
Just our guys' togetherness and their effort and energy. They're doing a good job playing together. They're keeping it simple, and they're trusting each other.
Great, thanks so much, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Back to you, Ryan.
Thanks, Katrin. Yeah, Coach Mazzulla, we were at shoot-around this morning, and he was taking every player aside for one-on-one chats and also very involved in the shoot-around. He had a penny on. He was right in the mix on that scout defense. Very active. Did you ever do that when you were coaching? Did you jump in there and participate in the drill?
I've tried. I got in some shooting drills. I could do that, but I left it a little bit more limited. My defense was not quite there to be able to guard these guys, but yeah, every once in a while you like to jump in.
Hey, he's still a young guy, just 29 years old. Anyways, Eric, you identified, not that you're all that old, let me get that straight. Let's look back at your players to watch here in the first half. Justin Harmon and Tavian Dunmartin. How did they do?
A bit of a quiet half for both these guys. Justin Harmon was really the third head on their scoring wheel here, with Matthew Cleveland and Javonte Smart sort of taking the lead. But he's been a great facilitator, been able to get in the lane and really create for those guys, and has been an absolute pest for Tavian Dunmartin, who's only had 4 points here, and really that was only off the and 1-3 off one shot there in the first half. And what they've done a really good job on Tavian Dunmartin is they've forced him into 3 turnovers. That's going to be something to look for here in the second half.
Yeah, Tavian Dunmartin, he was a pattern earlier in the year where he was kind of alternating big scoring games and not so big scoring games, but he's coming off a 28-point performance in that win over the Calgary Surge back on June 10th. And 4 first half points, I'm sure the Mamba would like to see that number get a lot higher here in the second half.
Yeah, and the good thing about him is he's not going to slow down. He's not going to stop shooting. He's going to keep finding his spots. Kind of like when some of your better players are willing to have a slower half. It's not that the Mamba weren't scoring. They didn't need him to score in that half. They had plenty of scoring. It's all about fixing the defensive end.
And we have mentioned it a couple times in earlier broadcasts that he's evolving into more than just a spot-up three-point shooter here this season. You're seeing a lot more elements to his game with the distribution, the facilitating, and even the rebounding, which has been a nice, pleasant surprise, I think, for the Mamba as well.
Yeah, his rebounding has been a little bit sneaky, but he's been able to get them, and when he gets it, he's able to get out in transition, so that's a big part of that. And he's really developing into a leader for this team as well. You can tell when he starts going, guys are really looking to him, and he's being a great facilitator as well.
And when you look at Justin Harmon on the other side, just the 7 points, but Ottawa's still up by 9, so that's somewhat of a scary proposition for the Mamba that one of Ottawa's top scorers still hasn't really popped off yet.
Yeah, that's definitely something to be concerned about, that they haven't been shooting that well, that they have 58 points. Isn't a great look for the Mamba, but something that they can definitely correct, and you know that they can score, and they've had great second halves.
Well, the last time these teams met in Saskatoon, it turned out to be one of the more thrilling games in franchise history for the then Rattlers, now Mamba. Of course, you were right on the sidelines for it. It was I think you were down 17 late in the third quarter, 11 going into target score time, and ended up with the largest target score comeback in franchise history. And a bit of a no, yes kind of finish from Grant Anticevich, right? What comes to mind when you think back to that game?
You know, it was just a definitely memorable night. One of those nights where it's similar to tonight, a game of runs where we got down a little bit early, but the guys found it within themselves, gave great effort in that second half, and never stopped believing that we could win the game.
Different players on the board, obviously, this time around, but there are some remainders from last year's meetings, and we'll see how this one plays out in the second half. We're now underway. Ryan Flaherty, Eric Magdans, Katrin Hodson with you from Merlis Belsher Place in Saskatoon, and Matthew Cleveland starts the second half the same way he ended the first. He's up to 19 points now.
Nice little play by Coach Missoula right there. Using Javonte Smart as a little bit of a distraction, getting the help away from the ball screen, opening up for Cleveland.
That's the largest lead now for Ottawa. It's up to 11 to start the half. Jalen Williams ran into resistance in the lane, but does draw the contact as Maletich picks up his second foul.
A great first possession there for the Mamba, not shooting it that well in the first half. So what do? You got to get into the paint. First possession, drive it right in there, get in the paint, get to the free throw line.
Jalen Williams has been a big piece of the puzzle so far for Saskatoon, but I think in some ways, I don't want to get inside Coach Fox's head, but maybe still trying to find the right groove for Jay Will, whether he's starting or off the bench.
Yeah, it's been a tough, they've asked a lot of Jay Will this season, especially with Jaden Bediako being in and out of the lineup. They've asked him to be a bit of a small ball five at certain times, when really his best position is being that stretch four, really a guy who can play off the bounce, but really stretch and shoot for three.
As he was 1 for 2 on that trip, and now a foul against Saskatoon, who's going to put Cleveland on the line. Third on Tevian Jones, so that's a developing plot line to keep our eyes on.
I've been really impressed by Cleveland tonight. He's just ready to go at all times. Every single time he catches the ball, he's ready to play, wants to score, and is looking to attack.
He has that look in his eye. Even this morning at shoot-around, very focused, all business. He betrayed a little smile or two in talking about, facing off against Isaiah Fox, but you can tell he is locked in all day long on game day. Tavian Dunmartin trying to get himself going. That's the spot he likes, but it won't go. Still just 4 points for TDM. Maletich looking to go to the corner. There's active hands from Dunmartin to knock that pass out of bounds. Maletich takes the inbounds. Javonte Smart, 14 first half points, looking for more here, but off back iron. This Western Conference game is presented by Cal Tire. Tavian Dunmartin looking to take advantage of that empty trip for the BlackJacks. Bandu, baseline drive, kick out. Dunmartin hesitated, now trapped in the corner by Maletich. Bediako rescues the play, shot clock at 2. Jones has to hoist, and that'll be a shot clock violation. No rim on that shot from Jones. What did you see on that sequence defensively from Ottawa?
Great rotations by Ottawa there. They were able to really put a double team there on Tavian Dunmartin, make his first ball screen stuff, and then they rotated so well as the Mamba moved the ball. TDM maybe had a shot at one point there, but it was a great closeout by Maletich.
Smart underneath Cisse. Bediako staying with him. Kick out for Dubinsky. And that's good. Wilson Dubinsky knocking down his second 3 of the game.
Yeah, and the Mamba have chosen to help a little bit more off Dubinsky tonight. So left him open for some open shots, and so far tonight he's made them pay.
Check that first triple of the night for Dubinsky as I misread my stat sheet. But a big one as it gives the BlackJacks a 15-point lead now. It's just creeping up. Mamba need to get something happening, but Williams, tough take. That won't do it. Maletich the other way. Numbers, pull up 3. No, they're flying in for the putback as Cleveland And a timeout called by Isaiah Fox. It is not getting any better here in the third quarter defensively for the Mamba.
No, it really isn't. To give a lot of credit here to the BlackJacks. They are getting on the defensive glass. You can see the frustration with Jaden Bediako. They're being physical with him. They're not allowing him any single position here.
We'll step aside here as the BlackJacks continue to push here in the third quarter. You're watching the Canadian Elite Basketball League live on CBC Gem, CBC Sports YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa. Thank you. That's my job. So you were saying.
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
.17 to play in the third quarter. An early timeout called by the Mamba, but a quick start again to this half for the BlackJacks, Eric, and they're kind of having their way right now.
Yeah, you can see frustration on the Mamba side. They're looking for answers. I like what they've done here. They've gone small, like we talked about, moving Jay Will to the 5, bring in Trey Townsend, try to give a different look here, try to make those defensive rotations different for the BlackJacks, try to create something offensively.
Let's head over to Katrin Hudson, who was listening in on that Saskatoon timeouts.
Yes, so Coach Fox, always very positive. That's just the type of coach he is. He was saying to the guys, this is a long game. It's all good. Let's go. His main message, just keep your composure. He finished by saying, make sure you switch aggressively and then just come back and rebound. Rebound, rebound.
Fantastic. Great intel there from Katrin. And getting some insights into that huddle. Good possession to start as Fuller got the bucket, but Ottawa answering right back. And again, the Mamba, it's not about the scoring that's so much of an issue for them, and this season has been the theme, has been the defense as they try to find a bit more on that end of the floor. Townsend for Gordon. Or pardon me, Bandu with the 3, no good.
Well, sometimes you go small ball to try to create more offense. Sometimes you change up your lineups to try to change the defense, to force your opponent to have to attack you in different ways. I think that's what Coach Fox is looking for here. Try to get the BlackJacks out of the rhythm that they had.
So nothing doing on the 3-point for Maletich. Dunn-Martin, oh my. Put Cleveland on skates, but couldn't finish the job. Bandu with the save. And Townsend tracks down the loose ball. Can Fuller validate the effort? Townsend up top, that's good. You want to be rewarded when you make hustle plays like that, Coach.
And those are two guys that came in out of that timeout there, making big plays, using their effort, using their energy to create for one another.
Trey Townsend, 9 points in the last game against Calgary, but they were all late as he hit 3 3-pointers to key that late comeback victory for the Mamba. Javonte Smart inside, no, battle for that loose ball. And now the lobbying ensues, and I believe they got the right call there. As Jalen Williams is usually the guy who touched it last that's the most emphatically trying to get the other team to take the last touch.
And a little game of chess here by Coach Missoula, bringing out Cisse, bringing in Harmon. We got real small ball happening out here.
Come see the new chapter of professional basketball in Saskatoon. Tickets available by scanning the QR code or by visiting saskatoonmamba.ca/tickets. Justin Harmon, well defended, comes up short. Bandu on the run, coast to coast. Oh no, and it stays out on the rebound for Fuller. And back comes Dubinsky, wasting no time, throws it into the corner. Maletich sets his feet. No, there's Harmon. No. as the lids go down on the baskets.
Yeah, you can see guys are playing a little bit out of position. They got space where they're not used to it, speeding up the tempo of the game.
Dunmartin can't buy a three. Ottawa leading it 69-55. Inside Harmon, swatted out of his hands. And it will be a turnover. Ball back to Saskatoon. But you can see, Eric, that Ottawa, I mean, we thought that the Mamba like to push the pace. I would have to say, of the teams we've seen come to Saskatoon so far this year, this might be the fastest paced one so far in the Blackjacks.
Well, and similar to the Mamba, every single guy on the floor is a threat. So when they're running in transition, you got to know where everybody is, and you better be communicating. Otherwise, you're going to give up an open shot.
Forget 7 seconds or less. It's 4 seconds or less, it seems like tonight. Fans getting their money's worth, that's for sure. Tavian Dunmartin working on Smart. Throws it along the baseline. Fuller anticipated the contact, and then the shot sailed over the bucket.
Yeah, the refs have been consistent with that tonight. They're letting a lot of contact happen inside the key. For better or worse, you can see the frustration on some of these guys' faces.
Cleveland, Harmon on the drive, kick, corner three, Dubinsky. No, Fuller rips down the board. Dejuan Gordon getting set to check back in for Saskatoon. Dunmartin swings it to Townsend. Bandu. Inside Fuller, tough bucket, and he will head to the free throw line. And Jamal Fuller's provided a spark here in the third quarter.
Yeah, he's come in off the bench, done a great job. Offensive rebounding, diving to the rim, creating different opportunities for his teammates.
First foul on Matthew Cleveland. No foul trouble either way. The only player with more than 2 is Tevian Jones.
Well, and after an offensive explosion of the first half, both teams have scored about 10 points here in the third quarter. It's slowed down a lot, not from a lack of pace, just the ball's not going in the hoop.
And the Long Island University products completes the three-point play. It's an 11-point Blackjacks lead. Dunmartin thought about going for the steal and pulls back. Harmon now. Inside, lost the handle. Gordon up for Bandu. Right at the rim, and Devontae Bandu puts it in. And suddenly the Mamba is starting to chip away at this deficit. They're back within single digits. Devontae Smart into the corner for Fudge. Can't get the Kawhi bounce there. And Fuller spins away from traffic. Logo three, Dunmartin, no. We're waiting for that first big crowd pop in this building. That would have set it off here, Eric.
You can feel the tension where they want to. They just need one to go down here.
Smart has a little space and he strokes it.
Well, that's the first time they've really felt some success coming out of a ball screen there. Going small here, allowing the Mamba to switch everything has really sort of slowed down the Blackjacks offense.
Just over 2 minutes remaining in the third. Tough pass inside, and Smart was all over that one. Into the corner for Harmon. Stepped on the baseline. As Tevian Jones returns to the floor. Mo Mahadi also checking in for Saskatoon. We saw him in that halftime feature. What just great. We've talked about it already this season, but having Mahadi, Easton Tim, Jamie Campbell, that Huskies connection is really significant here. It's been throughout the team's existence, but it's so much more noteworthy this year with those two players getting real minutes.
Yeah, it's been great to see them have real minutes, and with the lack of real practice timing, ability to get to know one another during the season, having that connection before the season is huge.
But Mahadi may be showing a little inexperience on that last play as he committed the turnover. Now we've got a technical foul on this play. That's going on Justin Harmon. Well away from the play.
Yeah, he's driven the ball the last couple times. He got frustrated with the amount of contact. Just said a little too much that time, and the refs rewarded him.
That's his first foul of any kind tonight. Jones to shoot. the free throw. Tevian Jones, just 62.5% from the line so far this year, but small sample size. And of course, he did go 2 for 2 to win the game against Scarborough, his first game back with this team.
The Mamba have done a great job in the last couple of minutes slowing down the BlackJacks offense. Unfortunately, that hasn't translated into them getting some open looks.
Here's one for Townsend, and that banker will go. Trey Townsend with the triple. Mamba within 10. But this is the end of the floor where they're trying to tighten things up. Roller trying to find Smart. There's contact there. Mamba calling for a travel, but it's going to be Mahadi called for the foul. Be part of the energy that takes over our nation's capital all summer long. Get your tickets to experience pro basketball in Ottawa at theblackjacks.ca/tickets or scan the QR code. That's theblackjacks.ca/tickets. Ottawa 74, Saskatoon 64. Just over a minute remaining in the third. Cleveland, a little quieter here, but as I say that, the free throw jumper is good.
Well, and an interesting point there is Cleveland was off the floor while the Ottawa BlackJacks offense struggled. Good sub by Coach Missoula.
Yeah. That's one of those easier decisions to make as a coach, right?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Gordon a little careless with the ball, but does get it back. Shot clock down to 6, ISO'd up. Now finds Mahadi, that's blocked, great closeout. Fudge flying in, there's that shot blocking prowess. It's not just at the rim, showing his athleticism on that rejection.
Yeah, you can stand a little bit farther away, be a little further in help side when you've got his level of athleticism to be able to fix that problem.
6'8" is Fudge, and now a step back 3 for Harmon. No good, Mahadi on the glass. Shot clock, game clock nearly identical. Quick trigger from Fuller, no, and Fudge grabs the board.
Oh, you would have wished the Mamba held for last shot right there, and we'll see if that comes back to haunt them.
Well, it did in the second quarter, although it was you had to give that look to Tim. And Cleveland with space. Rare miss there for Matthew Cleveland. Not enough time to hoist up a full court shot. That'll bring it into the third quarter. A pretty tightly contested frame, but the BlackJacks expanding their lead by 3. They now have a 12-point advantage heading into the fourth quarter, eerily similar to the last time these teams met in Saskatoon. We'll see what the Mamba can do to come back, and the BlackJacks try to close it out here in the fourth. You're watching the Canadian Elite Basketball League live on CBC Gem, CBC Sports YouTube, and CEBL+.
You don't just fuel your body, you fuel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
Did you know that every CEBL game ends on a game-winning bucket? Yep, every single one. That's because we use something called target score ending, a thrilling twist that keeps fans locked in till the final shot. So what is the target score ending? Here's how it works. The first time the clock stops with 4 minutes or less left in the fourth quarter, the game clock is turned off. We enter target score time. We take the leading team's score, add 9 points, and that becomes the target score. Let's say it's 91-80. That means the first team to hit 100 wins. No ticking clock, no intentional fouls, just pure clutch basketball. It's fast, it's electric, and it guarantees that every game ends with a bang. Experience the target score ending this CEBL season.
Back inside Merlis Belsher Place. Dejuan Gordon back in the lineup for Saskatoon. He's tied for the team scoring lead with 11 points, and he's also the focus of our Cal Tire cruise of the game on the turnover. And the pass up ahead for the two-handed flush.
Yeah, it's been great to have Gordon back in this return. He's been a big part of that bench mob that's led to 28 bench points for the Mamba tonight.
Mentioned he's tied for the team scoring lead. Tavian Dunmartin did get 7 in that third quarter. He's now up to 11 on the night. Nope, check that. It's Jalen Williams, the other player with 11. Dunmartin still stuck on 4 points tonight. Quiet night for the Mamba point guard as he takes the inbound pass to begin the fourth quarter. Ottawa leading it 76-64. Ryan Flaherty, Eric Magdans, Katrin Hodson with you on this debut from Merlis Belsher Place. Nearly turned over on the first possession, but Gordon rescues it, can't get the finish, gets his own miss, and off Harmon and out. Heads up play there by Dejuan Gordon. Meanwhile, Matthew Cleveland leading the BlackJacks 25 points, coming off his lowest scoring game of the season, a mere 19 in the 104-95 loss to Vancouver a couple nights ago. But as Bediako gets inside, there was a good grab on the jersey there by Cisse, and Bediako finally gets what he's been looking for a while here tonight.
Yeah, good first couple of possessions here by the Mamba. Did a great job getting in the key on the first possession, got an offensive rebound, and even Tevian Jones turns down an open 3 maybe to start that, creates something even better by getting him back in the paint.
But how about the debut, first year in the CBL for Matthew Cleveland, and a first-year pro to boot. Obviously coming in with a good pedigree, but one game without at least 20 points this season. That's why he's one of the top scorers in the league coming into tonight, and he has come as advertised.
Yeah, it's one of those old coach adages. If you play hard, good things are going to happen, and he plays hard every single possession.
And he's got 7 rebounds to go with those 25 points. He's also averaging over 8 of those per game this season. So great impact in his first season in this league, but there's a foul on Cleveland of the offensive variety.
2 quick fouls there on Cisse. That's a big part. He got in foul trouble again in their last game against Vancouver. That really hurt the BlackJacks down the stretch. He's got to stay out of foul trouble in this fourth quarter.
Oh, pardon me, that was Cisse, not Cleveland. I saw 1-7 from the official, not the second one. Gordon, too strong. Rebounded by Cleveland. Approaching a double-double now. Cisse or Harmon. Bediako out to get him on the move. Now Elvis coming out of the corner finds Cleveland at the top of the arc, and Maletic unmolested, just able to sail in and put it home.
That's the 14th offensive rebound here tonight for the BlackJacks. That's been a big part of the game so far.
And a massive block there by Cisse. Did go out of bounds, so Mamba will retain possession with 14 seconds on the shot clock. 8:31 to play, so that means 4.5 minutes or so until we get to target score time. And the Mamba want to get this down to at least to single digits before that point. Certainly not an impossible task, but they just haven't been able to get any closer than about 9 or 10 ever since Ottawa stretched out this lead. But Jalen Williams back in along with Devontae Bandu. And it is the starting 5 now back on the floor together for Saskatoon.
All it takes is one small run here, and all of a sudden this is a wildly different game.
Harmon, left-handed finish. And it's a 16-point BlackJacks lead. Ottawa looking to avoid a 3rd straight loss, get themselves back to the 500 mark. Williams, Jones, step through, and perfect mid-range finish. Good shot fake that time by Jones.
Yeah, it's going to be all about getting stops on this end for the Mamba. Can they slow down this potent attack of the BlackJacks?
And another offensive rebound leads to 2 more points. Cisse has been an absolute load to handle for the Mamba defensively tonight.
And these are a crucial couple of minutes even for the BlackJacks. Javonte Smart's on the bench getting some rest, being able to hopefully take them home in target time.
Cisse doesn't have many points, but he's just been a presence down there. And speaking of presence, Jalen Williams, big one-handed slam to get the BlackJacks going here in the fourth. Can they get a spark from that? Need some stops though, and that is proving to be very difficult indeed. That one falls out. Ball on the deck, and Jones comes the other way. Tevian Jones lights the lamp. And while the Mamba haven't been able to go on a lengthy run, they have at least prevented Ottawa from extending that lead into insurmountable territory, Eric. But as we get closer and closer to the target score time, every possession just becomes that much more magnified.
Yeah, this is what you wanted to see from the Mamba. Having some good defensive stops, being able to get out in transition. Offense has looked much improved here in the fourth quarter.
Smart back out now. Over to Dubinsky. Wilson Dubinsky comes up short, gets his own rebound. That's about the third time he's done that tonight. Open look for Smart. No. Bediako with the rebound, looking for a foul there. And that's that composure piece that we heard Catron talking about in that Mamba huddle. Bediako needs to get down the floor, but Dunn Martin says, I can take care of business this time. Big fella.
And now it's within 10. That's what you want to get. 2 big minutes here before target time to keep this momentum going for the Mamba.
Smart thought about it, now gets inside, pull up, and good. +1, Javonte Smart will go to the line for a chance at 3. That's the 4th foul on Tevian Jones, so that is also something to keep an eye on here. Townsend's going to come in and replace Jones as Isaiah Fox wants him for target score time. I want to risk having him pick up a 5th foul before getting to that all-important stretch of the game.
Yeah, those are always the tough decisions for coaches. Tevian's had a couple good last couple possessions here, got a couple buckets. He really wants to stay in the game, but at the end of the game, it's all about target time, being able to push down the stretch.
And Smart finishes off the 3-point play. Ottawa leading it by 13 as we tick down under 6 minutes on the game clock. Tavian Dunn Martin, and it just hasn't been falling for him tonight. Bediako does get the offensive board inside. A big battle and a little bear hug there from Cisse and Bediako. That's the heat of competition, but also the respect there between 2 big men.
Yeah, 2 guys just playing hard, being physical all night. Hey, if that's how it's going to be, and 2 guys want to compete that way, that's what we want to see.
Well, don't know if they've ever faced each other before. Cisse, of course, out of Western Illinois, from San Diego. Bediako, a Seton Hall grad. Jaden Bediako, who's had a double-double in all 3 of his games this season, in jeopardy of seeing that streak come to an end. He goes 1 for 2. It's a 12-point BlackJack lead. Smart for 3. No, Bediako on the rebound. Dunn Martin, Townsend, that's his spot, but this time it comes up empty.
And BlackJacks want to play a little bit slower here. Try to use up some possessions, minimize the number of possessions before they're going to enter target time.
Smart signaling. Don't think he got what he was asking for there. Right into the chest of Dunn Martin, and an offensive foul on the bigger Javonte Smart.
And you love to see that from Tavian Dunn Martin. Smart called him into a ball screen, got the switch, was looking to attack him. Tavian Dunn Martin up for the challenge.
And you're up 12 at this point, and you haven't had a foul yet. You can afford to maybe push the envelope just a little bit there if you're Javonte Smart. Lean into your check. Dunn Martin finally gets one to go. And it comes at a big time for the Mamba. Lead down to single digits. Now can they get a stop here? 1 more possession, maybe 2 before target score time.
And all coaches love to see that. You have a big defensive possession, and you get rewarded on the offensive end.
And a block as Townsend and Badiako come together defensively. Bandu the other way, no hesitation. Short. Oh, big opportunity goes by the wayside there for the Mamba. Still a 9-point Ottawa lead. Smart into Cleveland. And Dunmartin reaching in.
And that's just fine right there. Fouls to give for the Mamba. Tavian Dunmartin was caught in a tough mismatch there. Get your defense set. Live to see another play.
That's the first one on TDM tonight. As Alex Fudge checks back in for Joe Mazzulla's team. The BlackJacks continue their road trip in Scarborough this Friday and face off against Miles Powell and the Shooting Stars at the Toronto Pan Am Sports Center. Tip-off is at 7:30 p.m. Meanwhile, the Mamba will hit the road for their next game and head to the Meridian Center for a school day matchup with the River Lions in Niagara. Early morning tip-off is at 11 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. Jaden Bediako hammers it down.
This is exactly what you want to see for the Mamba entering into target time. Next possession will be target time, but 7-point game, that's manageable heading into this.
Nearly a turnover, but Smart pulls it back out. We're under 4 minutes now. That will come up short. Bediako can't get a hand on it. Another chance here. Dubinsky for 3, tipped in. Alex Fudge, another put-back bucket. Mamba the other way. Foul being called for from the Ottawa bench. They don't get it. Bediako, another flush. And instead of waiting for a stoppage to happen naturally, Justin Mazzulla says, let's just go to target time right now as he calls timeouts. Sensing maybe a little bit of oil leakage on the BlackJacks side. But we'll talk about that when we come back because it's target score time. And things have tightened up here in Saskatoon. Ottawa leading it 87-80. Big finish coming up next. You're watching the CEBL live on CBC Gem, CBC Sports YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Let's bring it on. It's game time. It's showtime. Oh, and it goes. Nick Hornsby. Here's Oakland for the win.
You gotta love a Canadian goose.
Bucket wins. Target score time is the best time of a game. The energy, the drama,
and anything can happen. Oh my goodness! Can you believe this guy?
Big players step up in big time. He is cooking.
Well, Jaden Bediako, forget what I said about that double-double streak, as he has now recorded his 4th in as many games this season. 11 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 big points just before target score time there, Eric, along with a couple of big rebounds as the Mamba have got back within 7. Ottawa still in the driver's seat, though, with the target set at 96.
Yeah, Ottawa lost their composure there in the last couple minutes leading into target time. Got to use that time out there to regain it. And the story of the game will be offensive rebounding. That's had a huge impact on Ottawa's ability to have offense. If the Mamba are able to slow that down, they've done a great job in their half-court sets today, getting open shots, just looking for a couple of those to fall, and they're right back in it.
BlackJacks ball to start target score time. 1st to 96 will claim the victory here tonight. Smart, Cleveland wide open 3, no. Bandu. Malatic on his back shoulder. That'll be a foul on Marko Malatic. Ottawa had one to give there, but the next one will put the Mamba.
Actually,
no,
they
that
did.
That is their 5th, excuse me.
Yeah, a bit of a silly foul
yeah.
there by Malatic, putting the Mamba right at the line here, and a pretty good shooter in Devontae Bandu.
Like, he wasn't in a great position to get a steal. He was a step behind and on the inside.
Yeah, that one looked like he was maybe unaware of the foul count, looking, trying to get them out of transition, thinking he could just get the ball on the side.
Well, and it puts a pretty good shooter at the line. Devontae Bandu, someone that Isaiah Fox is so happy to have on this team. A bit of connective tissue from the Rattlers era to the Mamba era. Even though the front office is different, Devontae Bandu said it's Saskatoon that he's fallen in love with these last few years, and that was a big reason why he came back, and now trying to help lead this Mamba team to another target score comeback against Ottawa. Now within 5, and a foul away from the ball here. This one's going on Townsend, I believe, as he protests, or rather proclaims his innocence.
Well, we've talked all year about how young this Mamba team is and their lack of veteran experience. Devontae is a guy who shores that up. He's played all around the world and been very successful throughout his career.
Cleveland with Bandu contesting, still gets it to go. How did that get down? Like a line drive on and a swirl around the rim, but it's 2 points, it's 2 points, and Ottawa within 7 of the victory. Bandu thought about it, gets it back from Townsend. Fudge threatening Devontae Bandu high off the glass. And that's something that he's really added to his game the last couple of years, and a lack of fear for getting inside. Used to be a lot more of a pure shooter. But he gets in the paint, and he's ready to go up against the big boys. A miss for Ottawa, and the Rattlers with a chance to get it down to 1 possession here. Townsend inside, no, and Fudge rips down the rebound, and then called for the walk. Oh my. The Mamba faithful love that effort, and Trey Townsend here in the second half on a number of sequences has really showcased his work rate.
Yeah, he came in out of a timeout with Jamal Fuller, made a huge impact, really turned the tide of the third quarter to kind of put the Mamba in this position to be able to try to make a run.
And now Tevian Jones, who's been waiting to spring here, back on the bench with those, off the bench rather, with those 4 fouls as he replaces Jalen Williams. 14 on the shot clock. Mamba inbound it to Bandu.
Yeah, you got to bring a guy like Tevian back in the game right now. It's all about scoring points.
Bandu to Jones, hand in his face, too strong. Bediako gets the rebound. The BlackJacks want him called for a travel, but we've got a foul against Ottawa, and it's on Cleveland. And so they'll put that shot clock back to 14 seconds. And free throws here for Jaden Bediako. Here's something we haven't mentioned yet tonight. The Mamba are 3-0 with Jaden Bediako in the lineup and 0-5 without him. Let's see if that trend will continue here, but Bediako doing all within his own power to make that continue.
Well, you can already see his impact on the floor here tonight. Coming out of target time, Ottawa tries to go small, put Fudge at the 5. Instantly here, very quickly, they have to go back, bring Cisse back in the game, try to counteract him, keep him off the glass.
And all of a sudden, it's a 1-possession game. Bediako 2 for 2. Ottawa leads it 89-86. Rattlers, or rather the Mamba, I knew it was going to happen. Here's a steal. Townsend down the floor. Jones, no, but there's a foul. And the Mamba continue to press the issue. Whatever's happened here since the start of the fourth quarter, or even midway through the fourth, they got to try and bottle that. The job's certainly nowhere near done, but they are making headway here in target score time. And now Jones steps to the line with a chance to get Saskatoon within a single point.
The Mamba have been battle-tested throughout target time through this entire season. They've had their lumps, they took their lumps, they learned from it, and they've come back and they've been able to have some major comebacks in these last couple games.
Jones, second one, rattles out. So it's a 2-point BlackJacks lead. Smart looking to settle things down, get a good possession here for the visitors. Bandu now on the switch. Defensively Smart to his right. Shot can't fall. Dunn-Martin gets the rebound. Bandu calling for the ball. It comes to Jones now to Bandu. Open look for 3. No! That would have given the Mamba the lead. Cleveland looking to take advantage of the good fortune. Can't get it to go, and then a whistle on the battle for the loose ball, and I think that one is going against Saskatoon. That's on Jaden Bediako as he went up against Cisse. That's the third on Jaden Bediako. So Matthew Cleveland going to line. Shouldn't it be Drew Cisse here?
They actually called the foul there on the first one. It was a bit of a late call. Looked like it was on the second, but referee David Steele has been very adamant. It's Cleveland at the line.
This is why I like having a coach sitting right next to me. You see everything.
I'm ready to argue everything, Ryan.
Got to be ready to contest it, right? So Cleveland, obviously that's a much better scenario for Ottawa to put an 80% shooter at the line instead of a 33% free throw shooter.
Big difference.
And it's a 4-point BlackJacks lead, 5 away from the target. Another thriller here between these two teams. Tevian Jones, sidestep. Dunn Martin pulls it back out. Shot clock at 6. Dunn Martin working on Maletic. Gets inside, all kinds of traffic. Townsend has to let it go. That's good!
You'll take points however you can get them right now. That was not pretty, but we'll take the 3.
With half a second left on the shot clock, we've got a timeout called by the BlackJacks. Or no, just a substitution here, pardon me. I thought I saw a timeout signal, but it was just a substitution timeout here for Justin Harmon and Christian Roller to get in. So Cisse will take a seat.
Well, it's a two-possession game here for both teams. So interesting to see how the strategy starts playing out as we get a little bit closer.
Could it be a case of deja vu between Saskatoon and Ottawa? Smart. Pull up for 3, comes up short. Dunn Martin, the smallest guy on the floor, gets the rebound. Finds Townsend, now Bandu. Mamba looking to take the lead for the first time since the opening half.
Gotta love that veteran play. Was looking for the 3, realized he didn't have it. Looking for something even better right here.
Bandu for 3, no. And Dubinsky gets the board. Smart on the break. Stripped by Dunn Martin. Bandu the other way. Numbers back for Ottawa. Bandu tries to force it up. He draws the foul. Dubinsky getting a hack in there. That's the third on Wilson Dubinsky. Now we do have a timeout called by Justin Mazzulla. Everyone take a breath. But Eric, I know I've referenced it a couple times here, but it is eerie. The similarities we're seeing here tonight between the last time these teams met here in the Bridge City.
Yeah, it's an absolute flashback to last season where we had a massive comeback and were able to pull out the victory. And it was all about that effort and energy. We've been harping on it all night. The offensive rebounds from Ottawa have been absolutely crucial, and the Mamba have taken those away here in target time, and that's led to them having the ability to have a comeback. Not an awful foul here by Dubinsky putting the Mamba at the line. It'll still be a 2-possession game regardless of these free throws, so they can look to still have regular strategy, but keep their eyes open to what's coming up next.
You mentioned those boards. Ottawa, 19 offensive rebounds so far tonight, but the well has gone a little dry here in target score time. What's changed the most here? Is it what's the Mamba are doing, or have the BlackJacks kind of gotten out of what got them the lead?
Yeah, it's a lot about what the Mamba have done, and we've talked about composure. One of our major keys to the game was composure here for the BlackJacks. It almost started where they got a technical coming here in the third quarter. Got a layup in transition, but got a technical because they lost their composure there for a minute, and the Mamba have used that to their advantage. They just continue to play and continue to play harder.
It's been a total team effort for Saskatoon in this comeback attempt. Jalen Williams, Jaden Bediako, and Tevian Jones each with 13 points to lead Saskatoon. Meanwhile, Matthew Cleveland, 29 to pace the BlackJacks, 22 for Javonte Smart. Bandu at the line. This is the first, so looking to tie it up now here. And this has been an issue for Saskatoon this season. They have the second lowest free throw percentage in the league. It's under 70%. And these are the moments in the game when you need those to drop. Bandu gets the second. First to 5 will win it here tonight. 91-91. The Mamba have erased a 7-point deficit at the start of target time. Smart working his way inside. No, Bediako trying to secure the rebound. It's knocked away though, and the BlackJacks get a fresh possession. Harmon in quiet tonight, but will he come up big here in the late stages? Inside, no, put back, won't go. Another throw there, knocked away. Dubinsky, no! Batted out by Townsend, and Smart finds it. Chaos here in the late going. Javonte Smart, step back 3. That is a dagger for the BlackJacks. Cold as ice, and Javonte Smart prompts a Saskatoon timeout. That's an assassin right there, Eric.
And that's the story of the night. Offensive rebounds leading to second chance opportunities. That's 32 second chance points for the BlackJack tonight. That is huge. More than a third of their points have come off of second chance opportunities. And for the majority of the season, the Mamba have been a good rebounding team. Tonight, that just hasn't been the case.
They are 2 of the top 3 rebounding teams in the league coming into tonight. That's been a big story, as we were just touching on. But now, take me inside the Mamba huddle. Obviously, they're going to have the next possession. What do you think we might see here on this next one?
Hey, 2 possessions away. You're down 5. It's all about getting the best shot. It doesn't matter if it's a 2 or the 3. You want to create this into a 1-possession game. So go down. Hey, if a great 3's there, take it. But if you can get a wide open 2, anything to make this a 1-possession game is there.
On Rattlers Heritage Night here at Merlis Belsher Place, the Mamba trying to throw it back to last year's home meeting with the BlackJacks, in which they erased a team record 11-point deficit going into target time. That night it was Grant Anticevich who got the winning points. He's obviously not here this year, but Javonte Smart was in that game. Devontae Bandu, Jaden Bediako played in that game.
And target time often ends ugly, so get a good bucket here for the Mamba, and you never know what's going to happen on this next offensive possession. A turnover can lead to a game-winning bucket.
Are they looking for a 3 here, or is it just best look you can get?
Best look you can get, but don't turn down a 3. Obviously, 3 points is better than 2.
All right, here we go. Mamba down by 3. BlackJacks are 2 points away from the win. Mamba need 5, and a good possession here. That's blocked by Roller. Dunmartin, still 10 on the shot clock. A little bit of a scrambly play there, out of bounds. And Wilson Dubinsky is apoplectic at that call.
He's had a great game tonight. He's been all over the floor, getting in the paint, creating steals, and just been an absolute menace for TDM.
7 points, 7 rebounds for Wilson Dubinsky. Mamba will retain possession. A shot clock at 8. Inbound for Jones, blocked. But before the block, Tevian Jones stepped out of bounds. No!
I think they called a foul on the 3 here.
Pardon
this is
me.
A big call.
Wow. I thought I saw Matt Fidelik make the sideline out of bounds signal there, but that is 3 free throws now for Tevian Jones. Chance to make this a true next bucket win scenario. Townsend's going to come in for some extra defense anticipated here on the next sequence. Some extra size as he'll take over for Tavian Dunmartin. No doubt if they get the stop, they'll try to get TDM right back in. Right now, 3 huge free throws for Tevian Jones as he makes the first one.
An interesting strategy here that some of the teams have started to use in target time is if Jones makes this next free throw, he may intentionally look to miss this next foul to try to get another possession here for the Mamba before the BlackJacks get it.
You're
it's
right.
Already down to a 1-possession game.
The evolution of this scenario has been fascinating. What will Jones do? Looks for the bucket and gets it.
Hey, make it a 2-point game here. Now you just need 1 stop to give yourself a chance.
Here we go. Next field goal will win it. Ottawa, 94. Saskatoon, 94. Javonte Smart sizing things up. Driving to his left. Stops in the paint. Kicks it back out for Cleveland. He's had a big night. Can he finish it off in style? Driving to his right, pull up, jumper, no! Rebound is loose on the floor, grabbed by Ottawa. Another offensive rebound for the BlackJacks. Smart. Step back, three, no! Jones gets the rebound. Now a chance for the Mamba to pull it out. Tevian Jones settling it down. Working on Dubinsky. Jones can't get loose into the corner. Williams, baseline, kicks it out. Townsend closed down, gets inside. Townsend wins it! Mamba! Holy moly! The rookie gets it done. It's another target score comeback. Deja vu all over again.
Just an absolute great comeback here for the Mamba. Never gave up. Figured out their woes. Even though they didn't get the rebounds they needed, they fought through it all the way to the end.
What a finish in the first ever game here at Merlis Belsher Place. And the BlackJacks, for the second straight trip to Saskatoon, are going to be seeing this team in their nightmares as they once again cannot finish the deal in target score time. But it was about the Mamba and their effort that picked up like 10 notches here in the fourth quarter and into target score time.
Yeah, it was an absolute noticeable energy and effort change, and this crowd, you could tell, appreciated that. They were with them every step of the way. This last possession, everybody was on their feet, ready and hoping, and Trey Townsend comes through.
You know, that 11-point comeback last year was obviously electric, but when you add in the fact this is the first ever game in this venue, and a BlackJacks team that really seemed to be in control the entire second, really since the end of the first quarter of this game, this is a stunning turn of events here. It might be even bigger than the comeback last season. Let's hold that thought, Eric, because Katrin Hodson had a tough job because there are a lot of candidates for our Booster Juice player of the game. So Katrin looks like she's got the whole team behind her. Katrin, who is our Booster Juice player of the game?
Player of the game tonight, Devontae Bandu. This is your first night back on home court in Saskatoon. How do you feel after coming back from that 16-point deficit?
It feels great, man. I feel like we got a great group of guys. You know, we fought hard. You know, we just went stop by stop and won the game for us.
All right, Tevian, how do you feel? A couple pretty big moments for you in that fourth quarter.
Man, I'm just glad we got the win. We did it together and we did it the right way.
Okay, so what do you think the team did? You came back from a 16-point deficit. What changes did you make to do that?
I think we're just some dogs, man. We got some dogs on this team that want to grind and take charge and get multiple stops. And, you know, you see guys get on the floor for that last possession. And, you know, I think we just got some good dogs and guys that want to win.
All right, anything to add to that, Tevian?
He said it best. He said it best right there.
All right, congratulations, you guys. Back to you, Ryan and Eric.
What a way to christen this new venue, Eric. I mean, you couldn't script it any better than that.
Yeah, and you love to see that the identity of this team is heart and compete. They're there every single night, just regardless of the score, they're ready to compete.
Look, they got some studs, no doubt, on this Mamba roster. Ottawa clearly does too, but there's a real unselfishness from this Mamba group. We'll touch on that as we wrap up, but first, we are going to throw to a break, but another thrilling end here. The Mamba, after an 0-4 start, have won 4 of their last 5, and they send the BlackJacks home in disappointment when a big win here tonight. We'll come back to wrap on the other side. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, CBC Sports YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
You don't just fuel your body, you fuel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
At Cal Tire, we're here to drive the best value around with free rotations, price match, 0% financing, and free flat repairs. We take care of it all for the life of your tires. Chat with our team at caltire.com.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
Back inside the new Snake Pit here in Saskatoon, and well, if you weren't here for this one and you're in Saskatoon, I might suggest you might want to take in the next one. This team, this Mamba team, Eric, is quickly proving to be must-watch this season.
Yeah, they're in every game, and even when it looks like they're out, they're not. They're willing to come back. They give effort to the final bucket.
It's a 96-94 win. The fourth in the last 5 games, on that 0-4 start. Meanwhile, for Ottawa, they fall for the third straight time and now fall 2 games below the 500 mark in what is shaping up to be a very hotly contested Eastern Conference. The Mamba continue to climb as we get closer to the halfway mark of the season. As we will let you know the next time that you can catch CEBL action. We've got an East versus West doubleheader on Wednesday night. The Montreal Alliance first travel to Edmonton, looking to split the season series with Nick Hornsby and the Edmonton Stingers. Doug McLean, Kiera Lyons, and Sarah Ryan bring the action at 7 p.m. Mountain, 9 p.m. Eastern. And then the Brampton Honey Badgers are on the road to take on Rugsy Miller-Moore and the Calgary Surge from the Winsport Event Center. Mitch Peacock, Jermaine Cummings, and Cami Kepke will have the call at 7:30 Mountain, 9:30 Eastern. Catch all the action on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus. Ryan Flaherty and Eric Magdan's back here with you. Just final thoughts, Eric. This game had all kinds of twists and turns, but the Mamba, they found something in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, they're finding ways to win right now. I don't think Coach Fox drew up that they were going to give up over 20 offensive rebounds and shoot less than 25% from 3 and still find a way to win. But that's been the theme of this season as they've gone through.
Well, 4 different players with target score winners now with Trey Townsend. He's not a guy who's scored a ton, of course, first-year pro, but he's had a knack for coming up with big buckets late in games. Had a couple big threes in the win over Calgary a few nights ago, and comes through with a beautiful little floater in traffic to finish this one off in a high-pressure situation.
And a great little shot by him, and he made impacts throughout the night on the defensive end, on the offensive end. Just with his hustle and effort, he changed the tide for this team.
Now, if you're Ottawa, how do you process this one if you're Justin Mazzulla and the Ottawa BlackJacks? Because again, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, it felt like they were in command of this game for the majority of it.
Yeah, you probably got to go back and just readdress some things within your team and with your leaders. 2 games in a row here, you've had struggles in the fourth quarter with losing your composure and then ending up losing a lead. So going back there, that's something that they can correct. They've got a bunch of great veterans on that team, and Coach Mazzulla does a great job.
BlackJacks will next head on to Scarborough to take on the Scarborough Shooting Stars on June 19th. The Mamba are back on the road as they head out east on the 19th to take on Niagara. That'll do it for us here in Saskatoon. On behalf of Katrin Hodson and Eric Magdans, I'm Ryan Flaherty. Thank you so much for watching, and have yourselves a great night.
Knock 'em out the way, knock 'em out the way, knock 'em out the way, knock 'em out the way. With your head top down for some action.